Okay, I'm making this video for JMS 494 Summer 2025. JMS 494 Summer 2025, Summer Session 1, part of the Vista program for the boys in Bravo. Hola, thinking of y'all. But I might use the video in other semesters as well. What I did was I took two news articles, both in the New York Times, both dealing with libel, both dealing with politics. I fed it into this machine or this AI program, whatever you want to call it, NotebookLM, and it generated a podcast in less than 10 minutes. There was an option of like, do you want it shorter, longer? I chose the shorter option, gave me 5 minutes. I'm making this video to document the capabilities of AI right now, at least Notebook LM. The podcast, at one hand, is very repetitive, very hollow. But at the other hand, it's pretty amazing that the machine was able to do this within a matter of minutes. So, anyway, that's what I'm making it for. And I just threw in some visuals just to make it interesting, so you're not staring at a blank screen while you're listening to audio. And then it brings up issues of copyright, like, maybe I couldn't copyright the AI podcast, but what about the images that I put on top of it? So many things to discuss. Anyway, here we go.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're plunging into a really timely and honestly pretty surprising topic. These escalating legal fights between major political figures and, well, big news organizations. It really feels like every other day there's another headline, another lawsuit or threat. It definitely raises some big questions about how we get our information, who you can trust.
Yeah.
So we're digging into two recent New York Times articles to lay out some of these high-stakes disputes. Our mission here is to unpack the specific claims, but also the counter-arguments and really what these big legal moves mean for media accountability and, how you consume the news. Okay, let's get into it. Let's kick things off with something super recent. Like, it just broke yesterday, June 27th, 2025. California Governor Gavin Newsom is suing Fox News. And he's seeking, get this, at least $787 million in damages. That's a massive number.
It really is.
So what's the core of Newsom's accusation here? He's claiming Fox News defamed him, basically, published false stuff that hurt his reputation about a phone call he had with President Trump this month. And the whole fight seems to hinge on whether Newsom lied about this call. The article points out Newsom alleges Fox used deceptive video edits and false statements. They even framed Trump's phone log as proof Newsom was being dishonest.
Yeah, and the host, Jesse Waters, apparently said something like, why would Newsom lie and claim Trump never called him?
Exactly, and they had that text on screen, the chyron, saying Gavin lied about Trump's call. Pretty blunt.
Very direct. And what's truly fascinating here, beyond the specifics of the call, is that number. $787 million.
Yeah.
That figure isn't just pulled out of thin air. It exactly mirrors the amount Fox News paid back in 2023 to settle that Dominion voting systems lawsuit.
Oh, interesting. So it's intentional.
Very intentional. Newsom even said, and this is a quote, if Fox News wants to lie on Donald Trump's behalf, it should face consequences just like it did in the Dominion case. So it's not just about the money itself, it's a strategic move.
Using precedent.
Exactly. Leveraging that recent history. Now, Fox News, their response was predictable, perhaps. They called it a transparent publicity stunt meant to chill free speech.
Meaning to scare them off reporting critically.
That's the argument, yeah, that it's intimidation. And connecting this to the bigger picture, Timothy Zick, he's a First Amendment professor, called Newsom's suit a kind of political document designed to, quote, flip the playbook.
Okay, flipping the playbook. That's a key phrase because, well, this isn't happening in a vacuum, right? Just the day before, June 26th, we saw President Trump doing something kind of similar but aimed at different outlets.
The New York Times and CNN.
Right. He threatened to sue them. So what was the reporting that got under the president's skin this time?
Well, both the Times and CNN published articles about an intelligence report, a preliminary one.
Okay.
And this report apparently suggested that recent U.S. strikes only set back Iran's nuclear program by maybe a few months, not, as the president had claimed, obliterated it.
So a direct contradiction to his public statements based on an intelligence assessment.
Precisely. And this really brings up that whole issue of, journalistic integrity versus political messaging, how the media reports on sensitive info.
And how did the Times react to the threat?
They pushed back hard. Their lawyer basically said no retraction is needed and flat out no apology will be forthcoming. We told the truth to the best of our ability.
Wow. Pretty firm stance.
Very firm. And they added that Trump administration officials themselves later confirmed the report actually existed. So it wasn't just the Times standing alone.
Right.
And look, this fits a pattern for Mr. Trump. His lawyer, Alejandro Brito, has filed a whole bunch of similar suits against news outlets. One even led to a big settlement, like $15 million from ABC News last year. So it points to this ongoing effort to, challenge the press legally.
Okay, so we've got two really prominent political figures, different parties, but using similar legal tactics against major news organizations, often claiming defamation, seeking huge damages, or demanding retractions. So what does this all mean for you, the person trying to navigate all this information?
Well, it really throws that tension into sharp relief, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The news organization's right, maybe even duty to report versus a public figure's right to protect their reputation.
Yeah.
And for you, the listener, I think it just highlights how important it is to look critically at the information you get. You need to understand that even these big legal actions, these lawsuits, they can be part of a broader political strategy, or maybe a strategy about media accountability itself.
It's not just about the news anymore. It's about the fight over the news.
Exactly. It's becoming part of the story itself.
So from Governor Newsom's massive lawsuit against Fox to President Trump's threats against the Times and CNN, we're definitely seeing a new kind of intensity, a new willingness for powerful people to take the media to court.
And it really makes you wonder, what does this trend signal, for the future of political talk, the role of news outlets, and ultimately how information is going to reach you in the coming years? Definitely gives us all something to think about as we try to make sense of this increasingly complex news world.